You know what they say. Something's got to give. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see two teams, each riding a 3-game win streak, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, ready? Chain 2 stop. Here we go.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Turn that to a minimal gain.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to take a shot right away. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Amari Cooper, 87 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 20 carries, 137 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Get it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it is just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually, you're calling on your backup quarterback.
But they got to do better than that last go-around. They went in the wrong direction.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
Here we go.
He got 29 yards that time.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now out comes Minnesota. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be. Right?
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it with an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
They'll set up to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Noah Fant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the delay, here's Hunt. And an alley to run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
On the double. Check, go.
On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brian Burns in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Kamara trying the right side. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Cooper's got it. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Watch 41,
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, That's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
You could tell he was searching for a hole, trying to find a running lane. There just was none to be found.
Yeah, that's because the big guys in the middle are just clogging everything up. Might want to think about stretching the line splits out a little bit. Make those guys cover a little bit more ground. Maybe you'll find some more room for your runners.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Daniels. He completes it to Tate. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right? And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And that is incomplete. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. And Butker able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick, But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it, but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught at the 20. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Zerline connects on the extra. Point. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Daniels. Caught by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think Drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On play action, they'll throw. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage. And surrender there.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They start the second half with Kamara, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. This is the tight end Fant.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. They run. It's Kamara. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. This will be caught by Brown. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Cameron Hayward giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw here. He's got his big tight end, Fant. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now, the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on fourth down. This one caught by Isabella. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Looking to throw on second down. Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This is Hunt on the draw play. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
On second down, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Andy Isabella, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. They juked him. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Back to throw. Daniels. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Looking for Ertz, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Zerline good with a PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job.
Here we go. 50, plant. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Ready.
Throwing after the interception. Daniels. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Daniels. complete. It's Johnson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Let's go. 60 or. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the #2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're #2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter. You're going.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Come on, baby.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll drop to throw. to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up, and don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use time?
And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. A 6-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Zerline now for the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's second down. To throw again. Daniels. He'll leave it for Hunt. Complete. And he loses the football a second time. And the Dolphins have got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Andy Isabella. His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Zerline connects on the extra point.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Here comes the Miami defense. They make their way back onto the field. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the sharks. When they descend upon their prey, that's what they've done this entire game. 4 takeaways, they preach it, and today they're living it.
Well, when you have that many, you probably think, all right, well, we'll just get another one now, right?
That's how it works. Everyone feels like, if I didn't get one, I'm doing something wrong.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Daniels. Caught by the tight end Ertz. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make...
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
56 to Mike, boys, 56.
He'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy, tight end to the right. Move. 4 down. Mike's 56. Mike's 50.
He'll look to throw. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Check 55 to Mike.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Go. 60 outlaw. All day, all day. Now.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. He finds his man Johnson. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Let's go. Play 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Daniels. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Butker's kick here is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Check. Check out. Hop.
They're going to look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Hey, watch it.
They'll drop the throw. He's got his tight end Fant. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.